Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show 2. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack and Jill here.
Hey!
Welcome to the show today. In this episode, Jill and I talk about Millionaire and paying it forward.
Yeah.
Giving some of it back. This comes in so many forms. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Yeah. Richard asks, hey, after your purchase agreements have expired, do you try to negotiate with interested sellers for a lower purchase price? And how much less do you offer?
This is such a good question.
Well,
I don't think there's anybody more qualified on the planet than Jill to answer this question. She loves it being in this situation.
Thanks. It just happens. So I love it when they write right back. But years later on, sure. So first I'm just going to explain. So what we're talking about is we've sent out offers. When we send out our offers to who we have identified as our target sellers, right? We give them a timeline to act on it. Maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 60 days, maybe it's 90 days. It's kind of personal preference, basically, because we're sending them a real cash offer. Like, hey, we're interested in buying your asset, aka property, for X. We're pending our review. And if you are interested, sign it here and send it back. We pay cash. This is the price. And this is good for, let's just say 60 days, if you will. Because I don't want them to come back to me after 6 years and things have a lot changed. So you need to have a date in there. Now, so here's what really happens is sometimes a lot of people act on it right away. But there are people that file it away for a rainy day. They may not be ready right now, but they file it away. And then next thing that happens is, years go by, and sometimes it's that person, and they go, oh, wait a minute, we need some cash right now. Hold on a moment. Remember that guy that sent us an offer? And they're going back to the file. That happens. Or maybe something happened to that person, and the kids are finding it, because things happen. Kids are looking through the file, going through dad's assets, and here's a letter somebody wanted to buy it because they don't want it. So this is why they're reaching out to us years later. So what do we do? So I do review the property, at that point. And what's interesting is, it can go up, but oftentimes it, depending on when I sent the offer, the property might be worth less. So can you renegotiate with a lower price? Yes. But I'm not trying to say, well, I would have given you $5,000 then. Now I'm only going to give you $2,000. No, I'm not going to do that to the person. I really sit down and review the property and see what it's worth now today, and they get that. So that's what it is. You re-review, see if you still want it, and then offer what is a good offer at today's market with what you can do with it. And what's interesting is, a lot of the stuff, what I found is some of the properties that I was wanting to buy 5-6 years ago are kind of small. Have you had that, Jack? And some of the deals.
Your acquisition. Well said.
Yeah,
over time, your acquisition criteria changes.
Yeah, so some of the things like, gosh, shucks, that's great, and it's still worth $1,000, but I'm not doing deals like that anymore. I don't really need to do a deal like that. I'm now doing deals of $100,000. So I feel bad sometimes, but I have to tell Mr. Smith that I don't want that anymore, but thank you for reaching out to me.
What we started doing now, and this is a very timely question, what Jill and I have started to do now, because our acquisition criteria has dramatically changed over the last, we started sending letters out in the early 2000s. So we get all kinds of letters that deals that are profitable, but we don't want to do. So we're passing them through to our members on Deal Board. Mm-hmm. It's a deal board that's inside of landinvestors.com, and what we're finding is it's ending up like a Craigslist scenario. So you post it on there, you say, you know what, I've got these properties, I'm not going to buy them. Here, the seller's name is Mr. Smith, here's his phone number, have at it, and then it's a mess. And we don't ever know what happens. So
it's a mess.
So we decided to create a website called Land Crowdfund, which is under construction right now, so that you can, there's like a lot of options that you can have. So whether you're funding it or not funding it, or whether you're the buyer or the person who's going to do the deal, it makes it really, really clear about, yeah, I do want to do this deal with you, Jack and Jill, or I'm going to take over the whole thing. Thanks very much. Here's $500. And so we, that no good acquisition should ever go to waste concept.
Mm-hmm.
So do we do it with office buildings? No. We do it with rural vacant land all the time on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Jill.
Thank you.
It begs to one more point.
Yep.
Why do these people, if you own any real estate, you've probably gotten a postcard or you've gotten a little note that says, "Dear homeowner or current resident, give me a call. I'd like to buy your house." And what do? You throw it in the shredder. Why do they save ours? Here's why. There's a number in there. There's a dollar amount. It says, "I would like to buy your house or I would like to buy your land for $18,532.14. That's memorable.
Well, not only
You
that,
can't forget that. It's like,
not
wait a
a
minute.
stupid postcard. I hate postcards.
I know, but
I feel like
but it's
if you're
really-
sending a postcard, I want to buy your property on one side and free pizza on the other side. It's silly. That's how I feel about postcards.
I know, but my point is, what makes ours different? And it's an actual letter, but not even that. We get extra letters, and we get with cute rainbows on them and all kinds of stuff, and we throw them in the shredder.
Right. Don't be cute. Don't try to be cute.
The reason is, there's a number on there. There's a dollar amount. Someone said my house is worth $182,000. Wow. Okay. That's worth saving.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I thought it was worth 160, or I thought it was worth 320. But either way, this is our experience, and it's truly partially a mystery to me still, but it works. I have to put a dollar amount and make an actual offer.
And then when you have, I think the way too, Jack, the way you laid out our letter from the beginning, where you lead with a cover page talking about who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Where you got the information. So you're not, for me, if it were me, Jack, that puts me at ease. When you open up a letter and it's like, hey, I'm not trying to scare you. This is public knowledge, and here's who I am. I'm not. You know
what the number one response that we get to letters are, just like by volume? How the heck did you guys get this information?
Yeah, it's true.
How do you know this much about me? How do you know the APN?
Funny.
How do you know my address? How do you know I own this property?
How do you know I bought it in 2003 and I paid $4,200 for it?
I feel violated.
Violated. Oh, jeez. Has anyone said that word to you?
No, not that word.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
Mr. Smith, it's all a matter of public record. I didn't make the rules. I just went over to the county and got all the information. It's right there. It's all recorded at the county.
Well, we don't go to the county.
Right.
But
in a much better way. Exactly. But that's really so.
Because some people do go to the county. I don't want them to get confused. Don't go to the county.
We address that right in the letter too. Look, this is all a matter of public information. We're not trying to hurt anything, or we're just trying to innocently make you an offer for your real estate.
If you're not interested, move on. Throw it away. I don't care.
Put it in the file or not.
Yeah.
The guy next door is probably going to sell me his house. Mm-hmm. If this doesn't interest you, that's fine.
Yep. Exactly.
That's really how I feel about it.
Isn't that funny? I love. It's so hard not to say that too. By the way, I got to tell you.
Why don't you say that?
No, because you can't be like condescending, because you know what? I still want to get the asset. Because here's why. But you can't say, well, that's funny because I just paid less for your neighbors and the guy across the street's ready to give it to me, kind of thing. You can't say that, but you can go.
I can. Shucks,
you can go. Hey, I get it. I understand you feel your asset's worth, $2 million. But gosh, I've been lucky. I've been picking up things in that neighborhood around $250,000, so you obviously have the mansion on the block.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Jill, your way's right.
Because
your
and
way's better.
then you kind of reel them back in. Like, let's all get, without insulting the guy, the seller, you want to say, hey, all right, I know we all think that it's worth that, and I understand that. Here's what I've been paying, and I'm just going to have to move on because this is what I'm doing. And then they might go, well, let me rethink about this,
Yeah.
If they really want to sell. If they don't want to sell, then we just send them on their merry way.
So do we negotiate, Richard? Yeah. The truth is we negotiate hardcore when we get a letter back from 2004. Do we make it our business model? Because some people, they make it their business model, where they send out a false sense. They send out a bunch of offers with dollar amounts on them, People call back and they say, oh, I looked at your property and it's worth $10,000 less. If you want to be that kind of person and that's your business model, you're not going to make it very far with our group. There's just no integrity in that.
Exactly.
But if it's 15 years old, stuff changes, and people understand that. I'll give you an example real quick. I know we spent too much time on this. I just reviewed and approved the deal yesterday. We got 5 properties in northern Arizona, and I offered I don't remember the numbers exactly, like $8,000. And the woman said on the phone to our person, but I really just want to get rid of these and check it off my list. And so I said back to our person, which is how we buy deals, our acquisition person, please offer her $500 and be really nice about it and tell her we can have this whole thing done. And she did. And she accepted it, and we're buying the property. Mm-hmm. So, and that's a perfect example of exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
If she said, I need to have a blood transfusion and I need to have $2,500 or whatever you guys offered, you know what? I might handle it differently. But she said flat out, I do not care. I just want to get rid of these right now. Mm-hmm. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landinvestors.com. You wouldn't know it based on what we just talked about for the last 10 minutes, but today's topic is Millionaire paying it forward. This is the meat of the show. I just read an article that said you release more endorphins in your body when you give away money than when you make it. You know what else you get?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. Whoa, where are you going with that?
Creates
I
endorphins?
can think of another thing, but I didn't think that's this kind of a show.
She's Jill.
Sorry.
My gosh.
What? Tell me.
Usually that's my role.
I know.
You know what else releases endorphins?
Please tell me, Jack.
Hugs.
What?
Hugs.
Oh,
Seriously.
that's what I was going to say.
Walking up to somebody and hugging that person, there's a small percentage that you're going to get knocked on your butt. But the chances are they're just going to hug you right back. Really, I mean, it's a huge, like 74% chance.
I was going to say hugs. That was my other thing.
I don't know if they did this study in Manhattan. But
oh my gosh. Well, could you imagine if you walk up and hug someone in New York? That would be hilarious. Oh.
I think we'd all be surprised, honestly. I think most people just want to.
You know, that's funny you say that because I catch people off guard all the time when I'll call places and they're like, they're in the next mentality. They're like, thank you for calling, whatever. And I go, hey, how are you? And they're like, oh. No one's asked me that. I'm good. How are you? It catches them off guard, and
sure.
it's
I noticed that with you. You always ask people, right? The first thing you do is, "How are you? What's going on?"
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, slow down. It's going to be cool, whatever it is. Like, oh, I'm having a good day. How about you? Good, thank you. Hey, can I hit you for a question? And then what's so nice is when you do that, by the way, like you're hugging someone in New York would do that. You catch them off guard. They kind of go, oh.
Jill and I were in
okay, this is going to be good.
A county recorder's office recently, and we were waiting for them to print some maps off and stuff. And their guy walked in, and he did exactly the opposite of what Jill just did.
Oh my gosh.
He walked in and said, my neighbor who owns his mobile home, his assessment is half of what mine is. And he just started going off.
He plopped down a stack of papers and launched
slammed
in
him down.
with the poor person who just happened to be walking by the front desk.
Right,
like it's not even the right person.
Yeah, exactly.
And just started to launch in.
So that's what you don't want to do.
Exactly.
Then everybody's angry.
Instead of he walked in, can you imagine how much differently that would have gone if he walked in and said, hey, how are you guys? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks. Great. Aren't we lucky to be here in Santa Barbara? Yeah, we sure are. So, hey, who do I talk to about the success value? Because it's not sitting right with me. You know what? That's
honestly,
Carol. Carol's the one that goes over that stuff.
I honestly think there might be a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did anything wrong.
I just want to check this because,
check the math together.
Gosh, it doesn't make sense to me based on what I'm seeing around the neighborhood. And then
by the way, I bought you guys some
differently.
cookies because I appreciate what you do.
Exactly.
Imagine how far you're going to get if you do
because this has got to be a sucky job. I'm sure people come in and just plop things down all the time. But I'm not going to do that to you today. So I agree.
So the point of the show is...
Yeah. Oh, well, what was the point?
When you're starting to do well, really well, financially, and you've got more time on your hands, or you have more control of your time, is what I mean. You want to pay it forward in some way. Mm-hmm. So there's really two basic ways you can do that. Number one, you can help other people get there, which is what Jill and I have chosen. Or you can, start giving your money away. Like if you're at the Billionaire billionaire level, it's really easy to start giving away money. Really, really rich people sit around and talk about this. Really rich people. They say, oh, yeah, I gave money here, I gave money here. And then once in a while, I'll hear one of them say, yeah, but did you ever give your time? And they all look around at each other and go,
Oh.
They say, oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I have to donate some kind of time and help some people. So,
that's good.
I think I feel qualified to say, Jill and I are spending some time helping people,
Yeah.
not just money.
Exactly. I like that. That's a good point.
So it's really important, a real important component, I think, of being well off and having control of your own time and moving through the ranks, so to speak, of being a grown-up, is to give some stuff back and to pay it forward.
Yeah.
However that makes sense to you. Might be spending more time with your kids. It might be getting a new wife. We don't know.
Jack. No, and it's more than just donating money.
You know what Nelson Mandela did when he got out of prison? That week, got a divorce.
I do remember that. Yeah, I know. That's not paying it forward. I don't know where you're going with this, but that's not what this is, Jack. No, it makes me think we have this good friend in Scottsdale who's a brilliant engineer. His son owns and runs a biomedical tech company, and this is near and dear to his heart too. And he is on a board. And he also donates his time. I can't remember what the organization is or how he does it, but it's basically helping younger, I don't know, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but business people, making some business decisions. The guy doesn't need to do it at all. But he's like, he knows, it's like, I've got this wealth of knowledge.
He helps corporate executives, people that are way into it already.
That's it. And help them make these decisions and move forward and stuff. And it's just so good. But yeah, because he's been through it. Because this guy has, he's has a military background too, and negotiated deals, international, huge arms deals, crazy stuff. He's dealt with generals and presidents and stuff of other countries and big leaders. So he's got this wealth of knowledge. He's like, I don't want this to go to waste. And I appreciate that. He could just say, I'm done. I'm retired. See ya. I'm on my sailboat. But he doesn't do that.
I asked him one time. Yeah. He said, I said, why do you do this? He said, because I'm interested in passing on the tribal knowledge.
Yes.
That's exactly what he said.
Yes. And that's important. And I love it.
He met Kalashnikov, the designer of the original AK-47.
It's amazing.
Russian. The original version. There's some amazing stories.
I know.
He's met princes and drug lords and all kinds of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, we were at that hotel when these big events went down. These big, in your history book events. He's like, yeah, I was there. I'm like, what the heck? And why? I've known you for 10 years. You'd never dropped that one on me. I was like, well, it didn't come up in conversation.
Right.
It's kind of funny. Like, oh my gosh. But it is so important to pay it forward. So I love it for a couple reasons. So one is for you, for your psyche. You talked about that. Two is, we should be bettering humanity, and like our friend does, and paying it forward and sharing the tribal knowledge and all of that. And what's your three? Do you have a three?
I don't. I don't really have three. Sounds like you do though.
I feel like there's a three. I was hoping you would save me. I really feel like there's three.
Let's make it up.
There's always three.
Number one is for yourself.
One is for you.
Two is for other people.
Yeah.
And
three's for our country? I don't know. There's got to be a three. Hey, wait. I know what three is.
Country.
I know what three is. I just got it. You know what three is? Setting an example.
No. Oh, you're stretching so far. Setting examples for other people. Here, let me help. Join us in the next episode where we discuss Millionaire. Define your next goal. How much is really enough? How much money and stuff do you need?
All right. And we answered Peter's question about high demand areas. That's going to be good.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Oh, my stomach hurts, Jill.
Dude, sometimes don't I feel like there can't be only 2 reasons. There's got to be at least 3. Sometimes there's 8. Like, what the heck?
You are the queen of trying to make stuff simple, and you just want to add another step here.
It just felt right.
It
I
makes me
felt
feel
like
good
I
about
was
myself.
missing something. Something just, yes, I had an emptiness on that, Jack.
We'll make it up in the next show.
Okay, good. All right. If you like our show or you come up with number 3, please let us know and subscribe and rate us on iTunes or wherever you are listening.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and
this was the Cash Flow from Land Show. We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.